is time to do our 2025 Money in the Bank predictions. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Denise Salcedo, and today I am joined by Weezy Blonde. Weezy, welcome back to the channel. How are you?
I am good, Denise. Thank you for having me back again. Always a pleasure.
So we are about to get into Money in the Bank, which is one of the most exciting shows of the year because it's a ladder match. Let's be real, we're suckers for ladder matches. At least I know I am. And whoever wins the Money in the Bank, there's a great chance that that person is going to end up cashing in and winning a world title. Where does Money in the Bank rank for you?
It's usually not one on my radar that I assume is going to be one of my favorites or at the top of my radar, and then it surprises me almost every year where it kind of slaps, and I'm like, oh, I forget every year. So I would say I should put it up there. I need to finally just put it in the ranking.
I always end up liking it. Like I said, I'm always a fan. See, here's the thing. It's kind of conflicting because I'm a fan of ladder matches, but I don't know if I necessarily love the Money in the Bank concept that much anymore, only because it's been done so much. It's been done to no end. And there's times when you're like, okay, should we still keep doing it or should we not?
I think that's fair because now they've really turned it into its entire own identity. Every briefcase has its own little gimmick. You know, every person that wins it has their own title, El Senior Money in the Bank and all that. I do like it, but I don't. It's just kind of, we're going to do this every year. All right. Okay.
Exactly. But here we are, though. I am looking forward to the show, primarily for one match in particular, which I can't wait to get into. But before, actually, you know what? Screw that. Let's get into my most anticipated matchup, and that's the women's Money in the Bank. Weezy, I don't want to assume what yours is, but there's a high probability that it's also this one.
Okay, well, you go first. I want to know, what is yours?
All right, well, let's go to it. Okay, so women's Money in the Bank. This is possibly one of the most star-studded lineups that we have had in a long time. We got Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Guilia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer, who just qualified. So, dang, those are all fan favorites, Weezy. Like, first of all, I guess we'll start with how have you felt about the names that you're seeing in here and the qualifier matches?
The qualifier matches have been really, really good. I think every single one of them has hit. I've been thoroughly entertained by them. And a lot of them also have surprised me with the outcome. I don't feel like they've been really predictable. A lot of the time when the finish happens, it's kind of, you know what? I'm happy about that. Didn't think that's what would be happening. The actual lineup is star-studded, like you said. It's so good. I think it's probably one of the best that we've had within the last, since they've been doing it, honestly. I feel like it really is the strongest. I'm excited for it.
Yes, the star power is there. The talent is there. Everyone is going to bring something different to the ladder match. So that's what I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh shit, like everybody's style is so different.
Yeah.
And when it comes to ladder matches, we do got a couple of people in here that they're going to be their first time in a Money in the Bank. Obviously, Naomi, she's probably the most seasoned in this matchup, but still, it's the one that I'm most looking forward to, like this entire weekend. So, with that being said, oh my God, all of these names, which one do you think is taking it? Do you want me to go first, Weezy, or do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Let me hear your thought process here.
I was looking at this and going, okay, this is very difficult because I do think that down the line, we are going to be seeing Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. In fact, that's my prediction for Evolution 2. I do believe we will be seeing that matchup. However, I don't think Rhea Ripley actually needs to win the briefcase to get to that matchup. Now, with Roxanne, Guilia, and Stephanie, those are three girls right now that are super popular. They've just got up to the main roster. They're doing their thing. I don't feel that they necessarily need the Money in the Bank right now because they kind of got other things going for them. Roxanne has the Judgment Day in position that she's now part of. You got Guilia, who I think is headed for the United States Championship. And then you got Stephanie, who just feels like she's uber popular right now, right? And then Alexa Bliss, she's kind of, I'm not really sure what her direction is right now. She may or may not be part of the Wyatt Six. I'm not sure. So that leaves me with Naomi. Naomi is my pick for winning the women's Money in the Bank because I think all of the stars align with Naomi. Her heel character, it always works out better, Weezy, to have a heel as the Money in the Bank holder, right? Because they can taunt it and they can do all of these, possible cash-ins and just always throw it in your face that there's a chance that they can cash in. So Naomi being a heel, she's my favorite right now. The way that she's psychotic, the way that she can cue those tears on command, the way that she does all of that, she's always one of my most favorites in the Money in the Bank. I always say she's usually my MVP because she can come up with the most creative things in a Money in the Bank. And then I just think because she is at such a different point in her career, she's been at this longer. This is the best thing she's ever done. I really think they should capitalize on this, strap her with that Money in the Bank, and bonus prediction, I think she's cashing in at Evolution 2. There's a lot in there, Weezy. I know. I gave you a whole lot.
Well, because there's a lot to, like you said, you have the 3 girls in there that are newer from NXT. They don't necessarily need it at this point. They have so much time left to be able to build and figure out what it is exactly they're doing on the main roster because they just got there. I don't think that handing the briefcase to one of them right off the bat is really the right call. And then, like you said, going with Rhea Ripley, Rhea has been through so much. She does not need it. She could be positioned in a title match really at any point and people would not complain about it. I like the idea of, and I am sticking with Naomi as well. Even before she qualified, that was my pick, just because the evolution of her and everything that she's been through. I have always been such a huge fan of her. And when she came back and was able to reinvent herself, this is the best version of her that we've seen in WWE. I really love it. I want it for her. She deserves to have a title run at this like moment with this particular character and gimmick and everything that can happen and transpire after it. Cause it's so creative. There's so many things that she can do with how she angles herself on social media, how she can just be as brutal as she's being and saying the things that she's saying, and the potential matchups that you can have down the line with her, possibly as champion. You've got a possible Bianca, a possible Jade, Jordan, if she's coming up anytime soon. I want that for Naomi. She deserves it. And I can't say enough good things about her, and I want it for her so bad.
I do too. And one of the things that you mentioned that I really like is that, like you said, she's been doing so much with the character, right? The way that she focuses on her presentation, the way she's been doing her hair, the gear that she's been wearing, how she handles herself on social media. All of that presentation has been spot on. And I feel like if you don't do this right now with Naomi, it almost feels like her big moment on top of the mountain will never come if they don't do it right now. Like, this is the chance to go all in with Naomi, and she's been giving it her all. This is the character that will take you to the championship. This is the character that will have her become champion. It's this version right here, and I feel like they really, really lucked into something. So hopefully they keep it going. Now, back up. I do want to give ourselves a plan B. If there was somebody in here that could win besides Naomi, who would it be? The only other person that I can see winning this legitimately, also heelish character on Monday Night Raw, someone that I said does have a lot of popularity, Roxanne Perez, I do think can be my second option here. She was my original option until Naomi qualified. And then once Naomi qualified, I jumped over. But she was my original pick though, Roxanne.
I think it's a good pick. I think she'll be really insufferable if she does happen to be the one to do it. And with her being a part of the Judgment Day at the moment, there's a lot of ways that she could use the briefcase to her advantage to will continue to be insufferable, depending on what ends up happening with Liv Morgan, with anyone else that kind of associates with them. So I mean, it would make sense and it would still work. I'm still gunning for Naomi, but that's a good second option. I think I agree with you. I think that's the most logical one.
Before we continue on with the rest of our predictions, if you want to cash in and get lucky, make sure to check out my bookie. Drew McIntyre cashed as a plus 250 underdog in his cage match with Damian Priest. If you backed him at my bookie, you tripled your money. That's the kind of value WWE betting delivers when you're tapped in. Money in the Bank is up next, and hell yeah, I'm trying to put some in mine too. Seth Rollins is the favorite in the men's ladder match, but LA Knight has the crowd, and in WWE, that matters. On the women's side, Naomi leads the odds, but Rhea Ripley's right behind her. That's a spot where a small bet can hit big. If you've been following the build-up, you already have the edge. My bookie's where that insight pays off. Go to my bookie, use our promo code Denise, and boost your bankroll with a sports book bonus on your first deposit. Extra cash just for locking in with our code. Deposit $100, get $50, go in with $200, and they'll make it $100. WWE UFC cash in when it counts only at MyBookie. So now that we broke down the women's Money in the Bank, we gotta get into the men's Money in the Bank. Weezy, I'm honestly looking at this lineup and I'm not so in love with it. I'm not. Like, this is probably the least interested I've been in a men's Money in the Bank match in a while. We've got Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, El Grande Americano, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? What was your reaction when El Grande Americano qualified for Money in the Bank?
I did not have a good reaction because I was not happy with it. And I'm not one of those people that hates the whole thing. I don't hate El Grande Americano. I'm not gunning against it. I've played along. I've definitely played along, but I really wanted CM Punk in this, and that was just for my own selfish reasons of wanting him in it, having the moment of him and Seth both in the match, kind of building towards something with that. Possible another time of Punk having yet another Money in the Bank win and cash in. I really wanted that selfishly. So I was not happy. I pretty much said I hate it until the show actually ended. But I like to keep an open mind. I will keep an open mind. But as far as where this match is going to go, there's a lot of different possibilities. I think for the first time, I'm having a difficult time pinning down what I think will actually happen in the men's match. It's usually easy for me to pick what I think is going to happen in the men's one and not the women's one. And I feel completely opposite for the first time in the last few years I've been doing this.
You're so right. Every single person that I was asking, who do you think's winning the men's Money in the Bank after what happened on Monday Night Raw? I was getting every single answer underneath the sun. Like, there isn't one overwhelming option. And that's I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess in a way, sometimes I guess it's good if you don't know what direction they're gonna go.
Sure.
But it also just feels like there isn't a direction that the fans are necessarily in love with. Maybe a couple might be. Sure, I'm not speaking for everybody, but as a whole, though, it doesn't really feel like we're passionate about one or two people. And like you said, I thought CM Punk was also going to be in this to have that friction with Seth Rollins, and then that didn't happen. So, bonus prediction, as of this video, they haven't announced a CM Punk match. I am sort of predicting, because we do only have 4 matches on the card so far, I am predicting that they add an additional matchup, and I'm thinking they'll do CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I hope they add that, because I do think that when you go to a large market like Los Angeles, what are you doing not bringing a fan favorite on the show like CM Punk, like Sami Zayn? Like, those people need to be on the show. People are paying their hard-earned money. They want to see the big stars. Do not keep them off the show. So I do hope, Weezy, that they do add that match, by the way.
I hope so too. I think Punk needs to be in the Money in the Bank card at least. Just at least.
Now, but that brings us to the actual winner. Who is winning this? All right, so I'm looking at this, and like you said, I don't really know what they're going to do. My original pick, based off of all of the names that I had seen on here, was Seth Rollins. However, there's a good chance that if CM Punk doesn't have a match, he will be somehow costing Seth Rollins this matchup.
Fair.
So that leaves me with, okay, Seth Rollins and maybe the possibility of someone else. But whom? I feel like the other option that might be remotely possible is LA Knight. LA Knight, because they're going to do the LA Knight in LA, that sort of connection. That's really the only reason that I think he might win. So I'm kind of stuck between Seth Rollins and LA Knight. I need to come up with an answer, but Weezy, maybe I'll hear your point of view before I pick a selection.
It's so all over the place, because I feel like I can come up with a scenario for every person in the match, which, like you said, it could be good. That's maybe a good thing, because it leaves it unpredictable and we're not sure what direction it really should head. I had also had the thought of LA Knight, just because he didn't get his Mania moment of it being in Los Angeles. So maybe they would do it here with Money in the Bank. I had the thought of Seth Rollins as well. That seems like the most logical direction that they would go. There's a part of me that is with Solo Sikoa. And the biggest reason I feel like I'm gunning most for Solo is the tension with him and Jacob and everything going on with them at the moment. Because Solo is so very insecure about everything with Jacob, right? Jacob is honestly getting big for his britches too, because he's talking down to Solo. You know, he's not really engaging anymore. It would be really funny if Solo got the briefcase and he was able to kind of tap into this bit of more humorous character, touting the briefcase to Jacob, being like, "Oh, well, you know, you've got your US title, but Money in the Bank, I've got that. I can do whatever I want with this." I would like to see that tension between the two of them and maybe have that transpire into something down the line. The other three, who knows? I think I'm gunning most for Solo and Seth, but those three make the most sense to me.
I
The other
do
one,
like your vision that you
yeah,
just said about Solo going, because it had crossed my mind, if he's gonna cash in on somebody, it ain't gonna be John Cena. It ain't gonna be, somebody else, right?
right.
No, it would be Jacob Fatu for that United States Championship.
It'd
And
be
I do
so
kind of like
petty.
right. And I do kind of like the idea of the Money in the Bank not just specifically being for the main championship of the brand, but also for another title. But then at the same time, though, does he need it?
No,
Right. That's why I'm
no,
just like, shit, I don't really know. I don't
yeah.
really know. So I guess official pick. So you said you had Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa. I had Seth Rollins and LA Knight. Oh, this is awful. I think I'm just gonna go with Seth Rollins.
I think I am too. I think I'm just gonna go with Seth because of that seeming like the biggest storyline. That's kind of the biggest thing happening with him having his faction and all of that. It makes the most sense. I'll go with it. But I'm not confident at all.
No, I feel you. So, I mean, ooh, this is a tough one, but let's see how everybody else feels. Make sure to let us know in the comments section below. Who are your big two options for the men's and for the women's? We do got two other matches to get into, so here we go. We got Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. Weezy, do you care about this match? Are you interested in this matchup? I'm not necessarily in love with it. I don't really think I necessarily care too much. I don't know. It's not the thing I'm most excited for on this card.
It doesn't feel like there's really any purpose to it other than we're gonna do it. It's in LA here. We're gonna put an insufferable Logan Paul with John Cena because that's the direction that John Cena is headed, and it's in LA. So I'm just not invested in it at all. I'll give it a chance, but I don't even have anything to say about it as far as what exactly it's accomplishing. And I hate saying that, but I don't even have an analysis because it's just okay. What exactly is the end goal here? As far as who's winning it, oh, your guess is as good as mine. I lean towards Cody and Jay just to have that feel good moment, depending on whatever is happening with the other matches. But it's just, there's just no way for me to really be able to tell. And I don't even know what them winning could transpire into. Whoever does win, okay, what does that segue into? I can't even come up with anything. How about you?
No, I was thinking, okay, you have the baby faces win, great, ooh la la. But I
Yeah.
think right now, John Cena with the, ruining the pro wrestling, being champion, Logan Paul with all the attitude, that makes me feel like it actually might be John Cena and Logan Paul. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, you don't want to keep seeing Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. You don't want to see them on the losing side of things. And that's kind of a little bit irritating. I feel like WWE wants to get more out of John Cena and Logan Paul. So that's got me thinking a little bit. And again, like you mentioned, it being in Los Angeles, it almost got me feeling like it is going to be John Cena and Logan Paul. But then again, it really has to end somewhere, right? Like this shouldn't be going any further. So if you don't really want it to go any further between John Cena and Logan Paul, then you should have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso get over, be the ones to go over in this matchup so that we could proceed on to Cody Rhodes and John Cena. So now I've talked myself out of John Cena and Logan Paul.
This is the full circle.
I went in a full circle. I started somewhere and then I ended up working myself into a different direction. All All right, so you know what? I'm with you, Weezy. I'm also going with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, only for the simple fact that let's ditch Logan Paul after this, exclude him from this story, and we can press on with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. So Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, that's the pick. Next up, we got Lyra Valkyra and Becky Lynch in a last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think the public is mostly going for Becky Lynch here because of how many times Lyra Valkyra has defeated Becky Lynch, but I'm going to kind of go the opposite way, Weezy. I'm going to go with Lyra winning this. I think she's been killing it in this feud. I think she's been killing it on the promo. She's been questioning Becky Lynch's moral character so freaking much that I really like how she's done that. So I want Lyra Valkyra to shock the world once again and defeat Becky Lynch. I want Becky Lynch to just be like, dang it, I cannot get a win over this woman. And a way to kind of work around that too is to have the return of Bayley. I want Bayley to come back during this because let's not forget, Becky Lynch took her out at WrestleMania and we have not seen Bayley since. There's a story right there. Grab it. Bayley returns, helps Lyra, and I do hope that we end up working our way to maybe even getting Becky Lynch versus Bayley over at Evolution. Who knows?
I agree. So I have been really gunning for Lyra because she has looked so strong throughout all of this with Becky. It would make the most sense to have Lyra go over. I like the angle of Becky is not able to prove herself against Lyra. Becky is just kind of slowly losing her mind because she's used to being on top. She's big time Bex, you know, she's the man and she can't even defeat the person that she mentored. And so it's like leading her down this spiral of where we could really see kind of some crazy stuff from her, which I think would be really good, where she's trying to play dirty more and she's kind of playing a little more dirty with other women on the roster because she's trying to prove to herself that she can still go and that she can still do this to the level that she wants to. But the Bayley introduction, I like that because that can also be said of, okay, well, maybe I can't beat Lyra and I'm not like one of the young guns on the show, but I'm one of the four horsewomen and I can beat one of the other four horsewomen and throw something in about how maybe you're, Bayley, you're the weakest one and I'm the best one, and kind of have all of them feud in some way where they kind of get to tie that back in. I'd like to see more of that from Becky. I feel like maybe we'd be working backwards if Becky won. And if she did, it would have to be she plays unfairly in some way, or there's some kind of interference or distraction that lets it be that she wins.
I agree. I feel like, okay, if Becky Lynch wins, all right, fine. Where are we going with this? And mind you, that's right. I forgot, by the way, if Becky Lynch loses, she can't challenge for the title against Lyra while she holds it anymore. That is it. She's out of this picture. I kind of want that. I want her to spiral, like you said, lose her mind and be like, shit, I can't even challenge for this belt while she's champion anymore. So I need this championship off of her. So I do think it's much better if Lyra gets the win. But if she does win, I do think it will be probably one of the most surprising moments of the night. But that is our show, everybody. That is our Money in the Bank predictions. Please let us know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your takes, hopes, expectations of the show? Let us know in the comments section below. Weezy, tell the people where they can follow you, support you, and check out all your content.
You can follow me on YouTube and Twitch at Weezy Blonde. I live stream every Monday and Friday. And I am also on X and Instagram at It's Weezy Blonde with an ITS at the beginning.
Alrighty, guys, make sure to go show Weezy some love. As for me, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube. Check me out on Twitter, all of the other apps, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, at _ Denise Salcedo. And if you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to check out this video right here, where I do my Evolution 2 card predictions. And you guys can also go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.